Hey, hi, hello. Welcome to the Beehive, and today we're talking about Subnautica, the only game that makes me so scared I want to cry. Now, you might be asking, B, Subnautica has been out for a long time, why are you talking about it and not Below Zero, which is only slightly newer? Well, I'm poor, and I have Subnautica. I don't have Below Zero. Now, let's talk about it. First, I want to get us started with some science. We as humans love to be scared, and the ocean is scary enough as is, not knowing what lies in the deep depths as more than 80% of the ocean still remains unexplored. Being able to explore these scary things such as the dark depths of the ocean, knowing that there are no repercussions, feeds our flight or fight response, which releases adrenaline and then releases endorphins. Those releases of endorphins can create a sense of euphoria for some. Now that's it for the science portion of this episode. Let's actually talk about the game. In this game, you play as Riley Robinson, the sole survivor of the Aurora crash on planet 4546b. The Aurora had two goals for getting into the atmosphere of this planet: to create a phase gate, which is basically a fast travel point to get into this part of the Adrian Arm, which is the galaxy which the planet resides in. The other goal of the Aurora was to recover the crew of another ship, the Degassi, which also crash landed on planet 4546b, and had 3 survivors, none of which you find during the course of the game, only remnants of the bases which they created. After about a week of being stuck on this planet, managing to survive, you get a radio response to your distress signal from the Sunbeam. They're coming to get you. And you get the coordinates for the island which they're going to pick you up on. When you get to the island, there's this weird structure that looks like nothing you've seen so far. Once the sunbeam gets into the atmosphere, the building on the island starts to move and shoots the sunbeam out of the sky, destroying it. Uh-oh, you're stuck on this planet still. On the island, you find these purple tablets which let you into the building that shot down the sunbeam. Through exploration, you come to learn that the planet is under quarantine due to a virus called Kara, and you're infected with it. Throughout the game, you find different colored tablets that lead you to other of these alien structures. Through exploration of these facilities, you come to learn that there is a cure to the virus, and that cure is enzymes released from newly hatched sea emperor leviathans, though there's only one sea emperor left. You find the last sea emperor with its eggs, and it tells you that it needs your help to hatch them. Oh yeah, the sea emperor is telepathic and can talk to you. But you help it hatch the eggs, which releases the enzyme that cures you of the Kara virus. Now cured, you can deactivate the weapon that keeps shooting things out of the sky and build that escape rocket you found blueprints for on what was left of the Aurora in order to leave. You escape the planet, and once you get back to the Altera company, which you work for, they tell you that they own the planet. And since they own the planet, they own the resources that you used, like diamonds and rubies, and you now owe the company 1 trillion credits. The end. Now there is some scary stuff that has to do with the story. 2 voice lines stand out to me. One is a line that comes from your PDA when you wander into the void for the first time.
Detecting multiple Leviathan class life forms in the region. Are you certain whatever you're doing is worth it?
Spoiler, it's not worth it, because the second you see a Leviathan, you might as well just change your pants. You accidentally wander into the void because you have no clue where you're going. You just want to reach the bulb zone, but directions are hard, so you take your cute little sea moth you've named Mothy Python right into the dark, scary void. The other is only scary if you come across it the way that I did, which is to have it happen during the many times I got my directions wrong and wandered into the void.
What are you?
Now imagine, you're trekking along, trying not to die, and maybe you're like me, who keeps accidentally wandering into the void, and suddenly the screen gets all staticky and a voice just in your head going, "What are you?" Then you get absolutely bodied by a Reaper, making you just want to quit. You just want to quit the game. You can see how this coming out of nowhere in a very dark, dangerous place would make someone horrified by this voice line. Now, let's move on to the scary creatures I keep mentioning and strategically not showing. Now, I keep talking about Leviathans, which are really scary, but there's a lot of other lesser scary stuff in each of the biomes. I'm only going to talk about the ones that I find scary, but not scary enough to make me cover my eyes every time I see them, like a Reaper does. First of them would be the crab squids, which kind of look like Megamind. They're only freaky because you can see inside their head, and I never seem to actually see them, even though I'm looking at my screen, because they are in like a really dark area. And then there's stalkers, which are the first thing to ever kill me, and they freak me out because they have really sharp teeth, even though you need their teeth to collect things. And they live in the kelp forest, which I'm kind of scared of the kelp forest, if I'm being honest with you. Thirdly, there is sand sharks, which I didn't know that they were called sand sharks. I kept getting them confused for biters, and they just come out of nowhere, it feels like, and I'm too scared to get close to them because I'm afraid they're gonna kill me while I'm trying to get into some wreckage in the grassy plateaus, which is very annoying. And then there are reef bags, which aren't scary because they'll kill you like the other ones, because they won't kill you. They're passive. They just make a really loud noise, and I am a paranoid person who's terrified of these really loud noises that they make. Now onto the actually scary stuff. Leviathans are the ones I keep talking about, and they're friggin' scary. You want to get up into the Aurora so you can get the blueprints to leave, and as soon as that water turns murky brown, you know you're screwed, as a stupid Reaper comes out of the murky depths and munches on your cute little sea moth. Reaper Leviathans are my worst enemy next to commas. Due to my wandering and getting lost in the void quite often, I'm very friendly in the most hateful way with ghost leviathans, which glow, yet my blind ass can never seem to see them until they've attacked my poor little sea moth. And lastly, there are sea dragon leviathans, which truly look like dragons, and they like to rock your world, but they rank last in my scary, so scary I want to close my eyes leviathan list. I don't have much else to say, but take what I say with a grain of salt and play this game for yourself. Maybe you're at better directions than I am, so you won't have to play like a baby, edging on exiting the game at any second. I wish horror wasn't as fun as it is, because I love and hate it so much. Have fun, or don't. Thank you for watching. Stick around, maybe if you want more. Roll credits.